Hello dear visitors of my YouTube channel Retro Photo House. Today I would like to share another part of my knowledge about Russian primes, and I would like to talk about MIR-1 wide-angle Russian lens. It has 37 millimeters of focal distance and 2.8 of maximum aperture. I would like to touch the focusing issues with this lens that may occur. For example, I will show you how you can by yourself to make this lens focus closer, because the range here from infinity till 0.7 meters, as you may see. But in some situations you may need to focus it closer. So I will show you today how to make this lens focus at as close as 35 centimeters from object. This is the first part of my tutorial, and second one, on some cameras, for example on Canon cameras, here I have on Canon systems, sometimes this lens won't focus on infinity. Why? Because the flange focal distance of this lens is 45.2 millimeters, and the normal adapters you use M42 to Canon cameras, they are taking lens with a flange focal distance of 45.5 millimeters, and often you will not be able to reach properly infinity. And I will show you also how to fix this problem by yourself. So let's start. What tools you will need? Lens range, or just pointed forceps like here I have, or just a pair of calipers, okay? Then you will need the screwdriver, tiny screwdriver with a head of 1.2 millimeters. Here, 1.2 millimeters. You will need the little tiny screwdriver, and the ordinary one. And also, to fix the infinity focus issue, you will need a file here like this. So let's start. When you take the lens, you will see here, for example, this is early model. It has only one screw here. But if you have a black recent model MIR-1 Vega or MIR-1 Ash, the black one, more recent, there are two screws here, but just you remove one in the early model and two screws in the later black model, and that's all the difference. There is a little screw here. You remove this little screw. First of all, you just need to put a marking. Please put a marking here with a screwdriver, for example. And then you just remove the little screw on this ring. Here. You are not obliged to remove it completely from its hole. It's not necessary. You just need to release it, because it's a stopping screw. Then, by using the lens wrench or the forceps, you just take the ring like this in two holes, and by turning to the left counterclockwise, you just unscrewing this ring. You put it aside. You don't need it for a while. Then you separate the focusing block from the optical block. Here you have your optical block, and here you have your focusing block. and we will work mainly with a focusing block. So what we see here, for example, if lens is focused at infinity, you have this limiting screw. But now we will try to make it focus closer here. It shows 0.7 meters, and here you may see there is this limiting screw. You see? So the trick is to remove one of these screws. We will remove this one which stops the focusing ring when it focuses at 0.7 meters. You just take your bigger screwdriver and you remove this screw, and you just put it aside. You keep it in the safe place. Maybe you will need it later to put it all in place, I don't know. And now what we will have, you see, it still stops with another screw, but focusing, it allows to turn the focus ring from 0.7 meter much more. And this distance I've calculated with I made the tries, and it gives the gain of 35 centimeters of focusing. So the problem with the closer focusing is solved. You just gained here 35 centimeters of additional focusing. And do not worry, the focusing lock is completely working without any problem. Another stopper works for both sides, and the focusing ring makes 360 degrees turn right now. You see? So if you're experiencing the problem with the infinity focus, you may need to take a look at this part. Here you may see one or two spacer rings. If, for example, in my example, there are two spacer rings, and it facilitates the further manipulation. So you just take one ring. In my case, I just remove one ring and I put it aside, and I will use only one spacer ring. If you will see what it gives, it gives us around 0.7 millimeter, and we need to compensate, as I said, 45.2 compensate to 45.5, 0.3 millimeters. So it is largely sufficient. When we will remove this ring, we will reach our infinity point without any problems, even with a bit of overrun. So, and you just leave in its place one ring, and you just reassemble the lens, and you will have your infinity focus fixed, and as well the much closer focusing on this ring. Again, I say that this can be done on early silver version and as well on black version. If you have here only one ring, it becomes a bit complicated, but not a big problem. You just need to work a little bit more. In this case, you just take your ring and you need to file it like this from all sides. You will need to work maybe, I don't know, maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour, and you need to remove here 0.2 millimeters, at least 0.2 millimeters of thickness to allow lens focus properly onto infinity. And you work with your ring. If you have a calipers, you measure the ring before manipulation and after manipulation, and you see, you check up how much of thickness you have removed from this ring. After you have done, you just put the ring on its place and you put the focusing part on it, and then you will fix two parts with this little ring with a stopper, a screw stopper. So now you need to find your marking. We have it here, you may see. So you put the ring in the way that the screwdriver, little screw and the marking will be aligned. And you put the ring on its place and you align the marking and the screw, and final steps, you just turn it all together like this, and you tighten two rings. Once it's done, you need to screw in this little stopper, and you just screw it inside till the end. You are done. You have fixed your infinity focus if you had problems with it, and you can focus your lens as close as 0.35 meters from the object. This one, for example, is a Grand Prix Brussels 1958 version. It's very reputable and popular lens, and you will enjoy your results. So it's just a little trick. I wanted to share with you this trick, and you can easily fix if you have this lens by yourself. So this is Retro Photo House. We are working for you, for your satisfaction. If you need some adjusted and cleaned prime Russian lenses, please visit my eBay store. Thank you. Goodbye.